Hello. In this video, we will look at how to build a reading habit online. Building a reading habit is like going to the gym or doing a physical exercise. Reading and exercise are most successful when we do them regularly. A little and often is a good approach. So an important first step is to encouraging learners to decide on how often, for how long, where, and when they are going to read. Then explain to the learners that the more they read, the better their English becomes. And it doesn't matter only about reading, but it gives you great results in learning writing, speaking, listening, vocabulary, and grammar. It's like building a language muscle. The more you do it, the stronger your language skills become. It is also vital that learners read at the right level and are particularly interested in the books. This will help them to enjoy it. Encourage learners to build a reading habit online. Help them to establish a daily reading routine by, again, asking a couple of questions. First of all, how often are you going to read each day? Learners are more likely to read online using their phones, and because they have them with them all the time, they can easily read a little and often. Then you may ask, how long are you going to read for? Encourage learners to read for about a minimum of 10 minutes a day. Remind them of the activities they already do for just 10 minutes a day. For example, taking a shower or making a sandwich. It may take the same amount of time. Then ask them where and when are they going to read. Tell your learners to choose a comfortable place where they can read without being disturbed. How can they fit it around their other must-do activities? Perhaps those 10 minutes before dinner are suitable, or maybe straight after finishing their homework is a way to relax, just taking a book to read. Remember to chat regularly to learners about their reading. Are you enjoying it? What do you think about it so far? But make sure that your questions are not testing your learners, but just showing interest, because this is another golden rule of extensive reading. No tests, but just checking how much they enjoy it. The start of an online lesson can sometimes be a bit chaotic, with learners joining the lesson at different moments. So one idea to help with this is to ask learners to start each online lesson by reading 5, maybe 10 minutes. Then they can have their ebook open in another window on their devices. In this way, it helps learners to, first of all, establish a reading habit, and then get learners to start thinking in English, which is very good for the lesson that follows. The teacher needs to give kind of a visual signal that the lesson is about to start, and everyone should pay attention and stop reading at some moment. For example, you can hold up a green card or send a suitable emoji via the chat window or in the comments stream. And during a lesson, an activity which works very well is encouraging learners to enjoy reading and to keep going, vital in building a reading habit. So ask them to share, for example, their favorite sentence so far from the ebook. After a short period of silent reading, you can ask learners to write their favorite sentence in the comment stream. It can be any sentence they like. Then review all the sentences learners have written. This also means that learners are doing some extra reading, so reading of things their friends have written in the chat box. If learners happen to be reading the same story, it's interesting to see if any of the favorite sentences are the same, or just to show as a contrast that many people may like different things about the same title. If you have enough time, follow up by asking learners to say or write why the sentence was their favorite. This validates the reading process and helps building a reading habitat. Reading aloud regularly is another good way of building a reading habit. Everyone also loves hearing a story, especially young children. It's great for learners listening, and the advantage of ebooks is that most come with audio recording. So first of all, learners can simply listen to the audio or shadow it by reading at the same time. This will help learners tune into the emotion, which gives reading more meaning. For example, the use of stress and intonation. With most ebooks, learners can also speed up or slow down the audio to suit their particular needs. Learners can also record themselves reading a short section, perhaps a couple of paragraphs. They can then share this audio file with the teacher, who gives them feedback. They can also share it with their friends to show how good the reading is, or just to check if they pronounce correctly. If learners feel confident enough, they can also read it into the class. Make sure you give them practice time by letting them choose the page in advance, and don't make them read for too long, because 1 minute is enough. Again, it's about the rule little and often. Praise them for any emotion they can add during the reading, for any actors' skills they can present. And remember, if you have a large class, make sure you also mute other learners so the reader isn't interrupted or distracted. This will also help all learners concentrate on their listening. Okay, here's a summary. To build a reading habit online, get your learners to think of reading as doing physical exercise each and every day. They need to do it a little and often, deciding where and when to read. They need to see it as an activity that will help them improve their English in general, not just the reading skill. And finally, enjoy it. This includes reading aloud and sharing favorite sentences with classmates. Okay, that's all on this topic. The ideas in this video are also available in a free downloadable guide to using ebook graded readers.